So what feedback had you received that really told you that risk was now considered as part of the strategy? And the second part to that is, what was the hardest barrier to overcome to get that in place?
I'll take it very quickly first. I mean, I think for me, it's the outcome is having those challenging discussions at a board level, at board risk committee level, and at executive level, rather than having a 400-page risk report that people don't question and you just go through and it's a tick box exercise. I think that's the key for me.
Yeah, I'd say feedback. The best feedback comes in the form of actions. If you have stakeholders who come back and look for your help time and time again, and engage your risk team because it's been a positive experience the previous time. Actions, not words, I would say, are the best feedback. So a good relationship like that versus being kept in the dark, being siloed, being left to the last minute. That to me speaks volumes about the relationship with the risk team. I think one of the hardest things to overcome, and particularly for listeners who are maybe new to a role, they've just come into an organization, they're keen to establish themselves. It can be really easy to just lay out all those comforting artifacts and things that are the kind of the toolbox of the CRO. It's like, okay, well we'll get RCSAs in place, and we'll get risk frameworks and KRIs and everything else, and just to lay it out. And what I would encourage people to do is, before those become too ingrained, have the confidence to take the time to engage. Back to the whole point of this webinar, to engage with the strategy, to talk to your stakeholders, to talk about what success looks like for them. They will define success probably very differently initially to how you will. And it's coming up with that shared definition of what success looks like that is risk informed, but that's also informed by the strategy. There, and then and only then to start to lay out all the things that that we know we have to do, but you will do it so much more thoughtfully and with much more of a commercial mindset, and in language that your colleagues and stakeholders will recognize.
Yes, and it ties back as well to risk culture. So in an organization, are people willing to put their hands up and say, we've had an issue here, we need to improve something here? And that's that risk awareness, and as Jennifer said, having risk have a seat at the table and having them embedded in decisions, and not just a siloed committee or reporting or after the fact, but being embedded in those decisions from the outset. And I think that some organisations I've worked in where you've got a very open culture, very transparent, that's where risk has been most efficient and effective and has contributed to the strategy most perfectly, really. So I do think it ties back to the culture of an organisation, the general culture, but also the risk culture and how willing people are to say there's been an issue.